India, obviously a wild and crazy place, and lots of interesting things are happening. And one of them is racist cow gangs going around causing problems. I don't want to spoil it quite yet.
Racist what gangs? What's racist about them?
You'll see.
Oh, okay.
You've got to watch this segment first, Harry, otherwise...
But I'm in this segment.
You are, and you've got to watch it.
All right, okay.
So the first thing I wanted to look at is this is the Indian government bulldozing 11 people's homes because they found beef in their fridge. So they're just like, you have beef in your fridge.
India's a huge country.
And they found beef in the fridge.
And they tracked... Is there a special beef inspector? Does he go around checking the
meat man's around.
Like the Stasi or something? You're hiding beef in your cellar.
So yes,
except he's got a little head bob while he does it.
Yes, of course. So they demolished their houses for eating beef, which is interesting, isn't it? It suggests that the Hindu majority there are perhaps willing to persecute people for their beliefs, as is the case in all countries where a certain religion is a majority. And I made a meme, well, with the help of Alistair, one of our editors.
You did the...
You're hiding cows under your floorboards, are you not?
Well, I mean, if it was just cows, that'd be fine, wouldn't it?
That's true, actually, yeah.
Because they're worshipping them.
It should have been beef, really.
Yeah.
I did a terrible job at memes. I'm sorry. I will dispatch myself
shame.
At the end of this podcast.
It's the Japanese fashion.
And talking of things that, are forbidden in India, Islander magazine... It's not actually.
I was going to say, I don't think it is.
It's not yet banned in India. This is now available. Obviously, the first edition was a massive success. It was a great thing. Everyone said it was wonderful. It's bigly. It's the best. It's the best thing that's ever come out of the United Kingdom.
Tremendous.
Yes. And there is another version. That first version now gone. Second version, limited supply. Get them while you can.
Some say even nicer than the first one.
That is true.
Really like
it's a lovely cover, isn't it?
One. Yeah, it's fantastic.
There's some lovely articles in there. Lots of big names. You got
and also us.
Yes, us. You got Stefan Molyneux, raw egg nationalist, Nima Parvini, Carl Benjamin. You might have heard of him. But anyway,
Stefan Molyneux's article about eggs. Because it should be.
It should be, yes. But also we're selling T-shirts with some stuff on. There they are, Islander merch. That's limited as well, and a mug. So get it while you can, because it's not going to be there forever, and it looks cool. And Harry really wants that metal T-shirt.
Why hasn't anybody got one?
Buy them out so Harry suffers. Why did you sound like Voldemort in the Harry Potter films? What's going on, Harry? Are you Ray Fiennes under there?
Carry on. Don't find the zip on the back of my neck.
So,
the
New York Times has picked up on this recently, these cow vigilantes. These are not necessarily agents of the state. These are just honest Indian men out to bring justice. They're Indian Batman.
The cows.
To justice for cows.
Just for, sorry.
They're not punishing cows. The opposite. So, they have India's Muslims on edge, as they're saying. As I mentioned, they suspect people who are not Hindus of mistreating cows because it's only Hindus that believe treating cows is a sacred right. And there is a cow in India. There you go. They exist.
Fucking boys, you're coming with us.
And they've also been accused of just generally attacking minorities in a racist fashion. And this has been going on for some time.
Is this a caste thing as well, then?
I don't know. I've not looked into the caste side of things. It's just a Hindu thing, I think. So look at this. This is a Bollywood movie waiting to happen.
Where are the snap zooms?
That is an actual picture that the BBC have used from 2015.
He's got an axe. He's got a pole arm.
He's got a pole axe on a moped. On a bike, really, isn't it? And I don't know what he's got there. It looks like a katana. This is like a film. But this article is from 2019, so this isn't a recent phenomenon. And in fact, this is cow-related violence.
We've got geolocations of
these are all the cow-related incidents from 2012 to 2019, and it's taking India by storm, particularly northern India. You can see here.
Yeah,
it's less common in the south here, but particularly up there. I can't read it because of the text, but near Punjab, It looks like it says Harry, but I think Harry something. The Harry province.
It's nothing to do with me.
Harry, why are you
What are you
doing
so
to cows?
Cows? I'm eating them, Josh. I admit it. I eat beef.
I've got beef with cows as well. But yes, there was this article from May of last year, which I've actually mentioned on the podcast before. And in this, there were 3 Muslim men in a car with a cow.
Maybe they should eat more cow, because look at how twiggy that man's arms are.
But they had a cow in the back seat. 3 men, probably 2 in the front, 1 in the back with a cow. And they were driving along, minding their own business, as you do, of course. You ever taken your cow for a walk or a drive?
Every day.
I take my cow for a drive. But a van crashed into them, cowing the car and everything, and a bunch of Hindu vigilantes spilled out and tore out the Muslim men and beat them all, and one of them were beaten so badly he later died. Why? It's a genuinely horrible story where they beat innocent men. They might have had a cow in the car, but I don't think that's a reason to die. You're a mean man, Harry.
I don't think India's real.
So, recently, around the 18th of August, a cattle smuggling gang was bust, and they rescued 57 cows, which is a heroic story. This is actually a good thing, by the way, Harry. I know you support the cow gangs and everything, but I very much support them cracking down on cattle rustling. But this kick-started something that has really spun out of control. So here, Muslim youth thrown into pond and killed by cattle protection squad. So this is a very interesting thing, because I'm going to read from the article and I'm going to ask you what you think of this. A 24-year-old Muslim youth, Wasim Qureshi Monu, was allegedly thrown into a pond by cattle protection squads of Uttarakhand police, according to accusations made by his family and locals. Police said the 6-member cattle protection squad was patrolling the area based on information about cow slaughter. Police also claimed when they asked Wasim to stop his scooter, he accelerated and jumped into the pond to escape. However, local villagers and family members called it a police killing. So the police are in league with the cattle protection gangs. The Hindus, I believe, majority
They're
of...
an extra legal service.
Mm-hmm. Family members said Wasim, a gym trainer by profession, had come to Madhopur to visit his sister. They said he was on his way home that night, denying the cow slaughter allegations. So yeah, it probably is likely that he wasn't involved, because a lot of these incidents involve people just minding their own business.
And then the mad cow vigilantes.
The mad cow vigilantes frothing at the mouth for cow-based justice. Like, you could be minding your own business, driving your cow in the back seat, and Hindus come out of nowhere, crash into your car, and liberate the cow while beating you to death or throwing you in a pond.
India's not real.
I know.
I figured out where the subcontinent is, actually, there's nothing. It's just a big extra bit of sea.
Mm-hmm. So this story was 10 days after that previous one where they rescued the cows. This one was only 3 days after. So this one, I'm going to read this one. Sabir Malik, a labourer from West Bengal, was allegedly beaten to death by members of a cow vigilante group in the Charki Dadri district. I'm really butchering that. On the 27th of August. The group suspected Malik of consuming beef. They suspected him of eating beef. How do you prove that? They smell his breath.
Yeah, your breath smelled like cheeseburger. You've got to die.
Maybe they suspected that other guy because he worked in a gym as a trainer. Maybe he was really buff. And all these soy Indians...
And if this was the guy... Yeah, he's quite a bit more Chad and well built than most of.
You've seen Indians in the gym. They tend to go for they compete with the women in the gym for the weights, don't they?
Yeah, the women win.
They may have seen, you're very muscly. You must be eating beef. No, I don't actually.
And you can get whey protein powder. I don't know if you can get it in India.
I'm sure you probably can.
But you can also get beef protein powder. That was the problem.
Bovril. So, Yes, they suspected him of consuming beef, which is considered a serious crime under local cow protection laws. That
Serious
is
enough to kill someone over it, apparently.
apparently so. Malik, a rag picker near Bandra village, was reportedly lured to a shop
Rag picker?
on the pretext of selling empty plastic bottles before being attacked.
What do you do?
That's the
I
most
pick rags.
Indian sentence I've ever read.
I pick rags, it's not much, but it's honest work.
We tempted this rag picker with a better gig of picking up plastic bottles.
And selling them.
Yes.
And you've got to have some great some great charisma to sell somebody an empty plastic bottle. So
I imagine they're probably used either for energy or recycling. And apparently a bystander intervened, and then the accused Malik took to another location and they beat him again, leading to his death. And apparently 5 men and 2 juveniles were arrested for this. And then another one here, this was the 3rd of September. Vigilantes were allegedly searching for cattle smugglers when they chased Aryan Mishra, of no relation, I imagine, to the people of Europe, for about 18 miles before opening fire. Mishra and his friends, Harshit, that is pronounced how you think it is, and Shanky, Harshit and Shanky, his mates, which sound like Dickensian villains, were in a Renault Duster car, which the cow protection people were told were involved in cattle smuggling, when they were stopped by the vigilantes, and the occupants of the car had said to have a prior dispute with another individual and mistook the cow vigilantes for their rivals. So there's some sort of beef going on here, and they sped away. And the vigilantes, convinced that the occupants were cattle smugglers because they drove away, chased the car and then opened fire on it with a firearm, killing Mishra. And when the car stopped, the attackers fired another shot to finish him off, resulting in his death. So they're just going around killing random people, which is obviously awful, based on the suspicion that they're smuggling cows or eating beef.
And there might be some kind of gang turf war going on at the same time.
It's just mad, isn't it? And it's also worth mentioning...
Cows. What if some cows get caught in the crossfire? What then?
The cow in the room as well is that these pro-cow policies aren't actually helping the cows. And so I've actually asked David Rams, who I had a debate. He's an animal rights activist and a vegan, but he's a lovely guy. When I debated him, he brought in chocolate for everyone in the office, very polite and everything. So don't have a go at him. I trust his judgment on this.
Oh yes, I remember this chap. He was very friendly.
Yeah, and he actually has worked in India looking at this sort of thing, and so has direct experience. And I asked him to give us a comment about these cow protection gangs. So here is what he said.
So I spent around 12 months in India documenting the situation with farms and slaughterhouses in the country when I was working for an animal rights organization. What I found over there was that there was a lot of hypocrisy with these Hindu cow protection groups. So these Hindu groups will claim that they're protecting cows because they worship them and see them as deities, but that doesn't really look like the case to me. In some states where cow slaughter is illegal, where they've succeeded in the politics there and made it illegal, it doesn't stop the suffering of these cows. The dairy farmers, who are often Hindus and breed cows en masse for the dairy industry to get the milk and make profit from them, they can't kill any unprofitable cows. So what they do instead is they just leave them to starve and die of malnutrition and disease. They do this to the male calves because they're useless to them, and they do this to the older female cows when they stop producing as much milk. They just neglect them and leave them to fend for themselves. Often they die of, as I said, starvation and disease. Now, cow hospitals do exist in these states to help these cows, and this is volunteers that work to help the abandoned cows, but euthanasia is banned because that's also killing, and killing cows is banned in these states due to the religious reasons. So these cows that can't be brought back, from their sickness, they're left just to lie there and die slow, painful deaths. I've actually seen hundreds of cows in that exact position. The same people fighting to protect cows, in reality, I don't think they're protecting cows at all. I think actually they're just exploiting them for profit and religious sentiment. I think if they really wanted to help cows, the Hindus and the protection groups in the country, I think if they really wanted to protect cows, they would just stop breeding them en masse.
Which seems like a very, very reasonable position, in my opinion.
That was really interesting. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, David, for that. And I didn't say I was going to do this, but here is his channel if you're interested, if you appreciated what he had to say. I certainly did. So that's an inside perspective. So they're not even helping the cows. They're going out and tyrannising people and killing innocent people.
For no good reason.
Yeah, it's a form of mania, like religious zealotry gone to the nth degree, where they're going out and just attacking people on the suspicion that they might have eaten beef and killing them, which is obviously not good. And it's also worth mentioning as well that one thing I did find out while I was doing my research on the impact on the cows themselves, in addition to what David said, was that the cows also consume a lot of plastic. But I'm not sure if you've seen many pictures of India. It's not a tidy place. There's a lot of rubbish everywhere.
I've seen a lot of people playing a new game for basically like GeoGuessr, where you get Google Maps up with Street View, and you put Street View down anywhere in India, and you win a prize if it's not completely covered in rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
No one's won a prize so far.
Apparently, cows come into these hospitals when they eventually do get there, if they do at all, with kilograms worth of plastic in their stomachs because it's just everywhere. And so, yeah, India is not a hospitable place for cows, I don't think. So I just wanted to go quick fire over some stuff I have covered before, but just some weird intricacies of this Hindu cow worship. India said that you should hug a cow on Valentine's Day, and here is a letter from the Indian, the Welfare Board of India, saying celebrate cow hug day on the 14th of February.
We all know that the cow is the backbone of Indian culture.
And rural economy sustains our life. Represent cattle, wealth and biodiversity. It is known, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. It's a strange thing to suggest, okay.
I mean, I like cows too.
I do like cows. So.
Yeah, there's always been plenty of cow fields near where I grow up. They're friendly enough.
They're quite endearing, aren't they?
Yeah, but if they all they can all give you the side eye at the same time, and the entire herd starts approaching you. That can be a pretty worrying feeling.
But growing up in Devon, I've cut across many a cow field, and they've never given me any grief. Even one or two bull fields, which was a bit scary.
Yeah, you can still pet the cows as you're going past. They're very friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I've even milked a cow before.
I've not gone that far.
You'll get there one day, Harry.
Oh, thanks.
And yes, there's also this prolific article, US Customs want Indians to stop carrying cow dung in their luggage, which is a very weird thing that US Customs have to say.
Well, this is the weird thing that I've seen as well, is that they don't just love the cow, they love every part of the cow, including the dung.
And the urine. I've seen videos of Indians washing themselves in cow urine and selling it as a thing to be consumed.
Yeah, and they're selling it as perfume.
Very strange. There's also this. Indian village marks end of Diwali with massive cow poo fight. There they are.
Well, look at how happy that chap
is. Cleanest men in India there. And finally, I remember showing this to Callum. Peace be upon him. The use of cow dung and urine to cure COVID-19 in India. And there is, of course, the story, which I think I must have forgotten to include, of a man who got struck by lightning and they buried him in cow poo to cure his wounds, and he died of suffocation. And remember, lots of people point out that lots of doctors and medical professionals in Britain are from India. So...
I liked we get the good ones, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, you hope so. Oh, great.
I've never been buried in cow dung in the NHS before. Not yet, anyway.
Although their service is comparable.
Mm-hmm. So yes, this is a weird aspect of Indian culture. I thought I would sort of highlight this, I suppose, to teach you about the world outside of the Anglosphere, as well as to point out that this sort of weird religious zealotry isn't even good for the cause that they're trying to promote, that is the cows, and that the cows are suffering from them also going out and just baselessly murdering people. And the moral of the story is, India is strange. I hope you appreciated that segment from the podcast The Lotus Eaters, and if you want to see what else we're putting out, you can see this speech from Carl, and if you want to see all the other work that we're putting out, you can follow us on Twitter, where we post links to everything. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.